Very good afternoon to everyone. So in our previous lab, what we have done is, I think we have finished 3 programs, if I'm not wrong. Please, somebody can write into the chat and give me the confirmation that we have already finished 3 programs. Yeah, okay, fine. Right. So now today what we will do is we will do more 2 programs, but in that you have to take input from the user. And for that you have to learn about the command line arguments as well as the scanner class, right? And that topic, it's remain in our theory, right? So I have to teach you the same thing over here, and then you will be able to perform those programs, right? So what we will do is I'll first show you the program, right? And over there only I'll explain you what we are going to do. I hope that this thing is clear, right? Okay. Fine. So a very first program that what we will see is that is, here you are taking the input from the user, because in C language also you have done the same thing. If I'll just recall that topic, you used to write that printf enter the value for A and B, right? So this is what you are writing. And with the use of scanf, you used to take input, right? Like this. If there are the 2 variables, you are taking the values like this, right? So this is what you are doing, okay? So this is in C language, that how you are taking input from the user, right? So same case, if I'll discuss in C++, then what you need to do, you are writing that enter the value for the A and B. This is what you are doing, right? And here you are taking the value via the cin and you are writing A and B. This is what you are doing in C and C++. Okay, so the same thing you are going to do with Java, right? So this is what I'm removing. I hope you understand this concept. Okay, so here I already explained that why we are taking the string class, right? The string is a class. You can identify that thing with this very first letter would be the capital, so it would be your class. And here you are taking one array variable, that is args. It is not necessary that you are taking this variable only. You can take any of your choice, right? Either it's A or B or S or any variable. But the meaningful name for that we are taking args, right? Because it will take number of arguments via your array. Okay, so at the very first we are taking one for loop, though the for loop is remain to C, but there is no change. Whatever was there in C and C++, the same thing is over here. In for loop, we are taking one variable, integer I is equals to 0. Now the loop will continue till whatsoever would be the length of your argument, right? Because we don't know how many number of the input that will be given by the user, right? We don't know this thing. That is why we are taking over here args dot length. This length and this length, they both are having the difference, right? This length is the actually function which we will use with the string, right? And this length only, without that parenthesis, right? It will for array. So here we are having this array, right, which is having a class string, and we are using this args dot length. So say suppose user have entered 5 or 6 number of arguments. So here this loop will continue till 6, right? And we are simply printing those arguments over here, right? This is what we are doing. I hope this thing is clear. So I'll show you the output and you will get to know this thing more. Is it okay, everyone? Anyone can at least answer. Yeah, okay, fine. So here to run the program, you have to open the command prompt, right? I'll go to that folder where I've stored my programs. here I'll compile command line dot Java. Okay. First time it will take some time, so have some patience. Fine. Then we are running this program, Java command line, right? Wherever you are running this program, at that time directly don't give enter. Again, I'm repeating, don't give enter. Instead of that, just give the space and number of arguments. Whatever the arguments you want to give. Say, suppose I want to give some integer arguments, I've given some integer value, space. I want to give some character, so I'm giving one character over here. Then I'm giving some float value, so say suppose it is float, so that what I'm giving. Then I want to give some string, so that string I'm giving. Anything, whatever you want, that argument you can give over here. This will be again treated as a string, right? And then I'll simply give enter. So that will show you that the argument number 1, argument number 2, 3, and so on. So the index will start from args of 0, a very first argument, that is 345 that you have given, then one character, then one float argument, then another string, another string. This is how your argument will be displayed. And this is given by the user at the runtime, so that what we want. So I hope this thing is clear, what we are doing with the command line argument. I hope this is clear. Yes or no? Any doubt in this command line? So this is how you need to take the value from the user at the runtime. Okay. And the second way, that is with the use of scanner class, but that what we are skipping right now. Okay, that we are skipping right now, because that theory also I'll explain you at the time of your lecture. Okay, so just right now you have to follow this command line. Okay, and I'm showing you the definition, that how you need to and what you need to do in the program. Okay, so this is what, yeah, I'll show you the code. Okay. Just a second, we will be having our practical list and I'll show you that. Okay, another thing. Here, whatsoever you are taking, right, that thing will be treated as string. Okay. If I have given over here as an integer value, right, this 345 won't be as 345. It will be treated as like this. Okay. So every argument will be there as string, because you are taking over here string, right? That is why. So if I want to take two arguments for A and B, and user have given, say, suppose 5 and 10. So this 5 and 10 won't be like integer 1. Instead of that, those 5 and 10 will be treated as string. And you cannot do any arithmetic operation between these two variables. Like you cannot do this string 5 multiply by string 10. This you cannot do. So what you need to do, you have to convert the string first of all to any of the integer variable, and for that you have to use the wrapper class. That wrapper class concept will be there in your very next unit, but right now I'm just showing you that how you can write any of the variable which is of the type string, and then that you need to convert into any integer variable or a float or in character or in any way, right? So this is what you need to do. First, you need to write a class that is integer. That integer dot parse, that is the function, right? int. And here you are taking args of 0 or something like that, right? So that will be finally converted into integer. The same thing I'll again repeat in our theory session, right? And here I'm taking any integer variable. This say suppose integer a is equals to integer dot parse integer. So argument of 0, which was 345, that what I have given at the very first, this is 345, that will be converted from this 345 as a string to normal 345 as an integer. I think this thing is clear. Yes or no? So I'll show you another program for the same, and then I'll give you the definition to implement the program. Okay. So the another one, I'm showing you the program. So here I'm doing simply the multiplication. Okay. So I've taken integer two variables like a and b, right? And finally I'll store into this result, right? What would be the multiplication of this a and b? Now, this thing I'll take from the command line, right? So this a and b will be treated first as string. But now I need to convert an integer because I cannot do like this, no? That what I explained already. Just 5 multiplication with this 10 because user have entered 5 and 10, but this 5 and 10 are actually the string one. So what I need to do, I need to convert it into integer. So for that, I have to use this method, that integer dot parse integer and args of 0 and args of 1. So very first argument and this is very second argument, but the index will get start from 0. So we are writing args of 0 and args of 1. That will be stored in integer a and b, and now finally I can do this multiplication, result equals to a into b. Okay, and simply I'm printing over here that args of 0 and 1, and the result is this. So let me run this program for you. Yeah. So here I'm running this program, but you don't have to directly give enter, right? Multiply. After that, with the space, you have to give the actual value, that 5 space 10, and then you need to give enter. So at that time, it will show you that the product of this 5 and 10 is 50. So this is how the user can give the value at runtime. Here I'm not giving any value for A and B as the static one, right? I hope you are getting this thing. Yes or no? Yes, Shubham, Ravi, Ashish. Parse means you are converting, parsing, right? And that is the built-in method. This is the built-in function that what you are using, right? So this is not the function that you have developed or I have developed, right? This is the built-in function. We just need to use it. That's it.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
we have used this to everywhere for
No.
taking the input.
Yeah, not exactly like that. That I'll explain at the time of theory, right? So right now we are not discussing the theory. This the same topic I'll explain at the time of our regular lecture. Okay. Right now, what you need to understand is this is how we can take the value from user. That's it. Okay. Right. So this is how you are taking the value from the user, and your very next program for that, what you need to do, that what I'm saying. Okay. The fourth program where you are having 6 subjects, right? And you are taking the marks of the 6 subjects from user. And you are simply calculating the percentage. That's it. A very simple program. So a 6 line you have to write that integer dot parse integer, args of 0, args of 1, 2, and so on till args of 5. So the 6 different variables would be having the 6 different values, right? You will make the total, you will calculate the percentage. That's it. Right? So for this purpose only, I have explained you, this is how you need to take value from user. I hope there is no doubt and you will be able to perform this program. So please carry on. If any doubt is there, please write it down into the chat. I'll solve it.
Ma'am,
Yeah, see?
it's not working like the way you say like
Okay,
take the
so
argument on the
of
command
course,
prompt.
you can use this kind of class, right? But that I'll explain you at the time of theory, right? This is right now you have to write any one of the method, and one of the method that what I've explained. And why it is not working, please share your screen. I'll solve your doubt.
Ma'am, I'm going to say
Yeah, you can. You can. Yeah, so just run the program. Yeah, okay. Correct one, fine. So just run this, I'll check why it's not working. Hmm. See here, you don't have to write .java when you are running a program. When you are compiling a program, at that time you have to write .java. Second time you only have to write Java, then CLS2, fine, then space, give the space. Array, I'm telling you, no? Java, yeah, space. Then give some of the arguments, A, B, C, D, whatever you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again give space. Again some arguments. Again give space. And then enter. It will work. Yeah, yeah. Now just give enter. Give enter. Yeah, see, it's working.
ma'am,
I hope you are working. I hope you are working on program. It's only 8 lines, and 6 lines are the repeated one. Just copy and paste. So it won't take much time. Once you finish, please ping me. Fine, so I hope you have finished this program. Is it so? Because nobody is, saying anything. So what I need to understand, you need to take one class, right? Any of the class name, that's result or something. Okay. Here you have to write public static void main. I'm writing in short. You don't have to write like this. You don't have to write like this, okay? But I'm just showing you in a short way. And here you will take integer m1 is equals to, so a very first subject marks, right? That integer dot parse integer, and you are taking args of 0. This is what you are taking, okay? Same way for integer m2, m3, m4, m5, and so on. This is what you will write, okay? This is what you need to fill. Then you'll take integer total. That is equal to m1 plus m2 plus m6, because they are having total 6 subjects, right? And then what you are doing is, here you are taking float percentage, right, equals to that total, but you need to convert it into float first, so you need to do the typecasting, and here you will write total divided by 6.0, because you are having 6 subjects, right? So this is what you are doing, and simply you are printing. Okay, I'm writing in short that system.out.println, and you just need to print it. So I hope this program was so simple, right? And you have done it. Is it so? Done. Very nice. Very good. Okay, good. Now the next program that is based on switch case. Though you already know what is switch and what is case, right? That's what we have learned in our C language. The same we have learned in C++, and now in Java also, syntax is the same. But here what you need to do is, here you have to learn about one topic, which is math.random function. Please search this and let me know what it is. Okay, please let me know what is this math.random function. I've written this into the chat, right? You will simply search about it, okay? And just let me know what this function will do. You will also have a random class, right? But right now we are not discussing this random class. Only math.random function, or you can say built-in method, okay? So please search this. I'm giving you 2 minutes. I'll ask to anybody, right? I'll ask to anybody. So I hope you are not here for only attendance. You are here for doing your programs, right? Please sort out what it will do and what is the syntax for the same. Sorry, due to network, there was some issue. I hope my screen is visible now. Anyone can ping. So I hope I hope you have searched what is math.random function. Have you? So what it will do, it will simply randomly generate some values in between the range of 0.0 to 1.0, right? That value will be plot 1, right? And finally, you need to convert it into integer. So the typecasting is required, okay? So in this program definition that what I've given to you, again, I'm pasting over here in the chat. I'm facing some problem related to network, so bear me. Yeah. Here, what you need to do is you need to write one program which will display a random choice from a set of 6 choices for the breakfast, right? So what you need to do for this breakfast choice, you have to give cases, right? Case 0, case 1, 2, and so on till case 5. And you need to generate any of the number which is randomly. You don't have to take this number from the user either. Even you don't have to take this number as a static one. Okay. So what you need to do, this is what I'm showing you over here. You'll take one class breakfast, right? In that public static void main. Here, first you will take one integer variable like choice, right? And this choice will be having whatever the value that is in integer. So you are doing typecasting. And here you are having math dot random function. And if you are specifying your range that I just want to generate the number from 0 to 6 only, right? Or 0 to 5 only. So you have to specify that range also over here. Okay, so it will generate the number either 0 or 1 or 2, 3, 4 or 5. Total 6 numbers it will generate. So whatever the range will be there, that you need to write over here. I hope this is clear. And then your typical way that how you are writing a switch case, right? So here you will operate the switch on the CH. Here you are writing case 0, then case 1, and so on. And in that you are simply printing one system.out.println kind of statement that here today's breakfast is scrambled eggs and waffles and fruits and cereal and yogurts and so on, right? So there's 6 cases that you need to write. Breakfast is this, okay? So this is what you need to write, and that's it, right? And don't forget to break it, otherwise every case will be there, right? Case 1, case 2, once your switch will be finished, just close it, public static void main, close it, and your class will be closed. So I hope you are able to perform this program now. Yes or no? Please write it down into the chat. Yes, Sandesh, I have already explained that why you are writing this. Oh, sorry, it's meaning, yeah. Why it's multiplication with 5. That what I'm saying, you have to give the range. Otherwise, it will randomly generate the number between 0.0 to 1.0. In between that only, it will generate the numbers, right? So it may be 0.00246, something like that. Okay, so you have to give that I need the numbers between 0 to 5. So it will randomly generate either 1, either 2, 3, 4, 5, any of the numbers, but in between the range of 0 to 5. That is why. I hope this is clear. Okay, fine. Ashish, that's good if you've done. What about the others? What about the others? What they are doing? Still doing. Yes, Anmol, Lile, Ruby, Neeraj, Neeraj, Ravi, Rajina, Rohit, Sampana, Sandesh, Sarika, Shubham. Please let me know what is the status of two programs.
Ma'am, in my program showing some error like
What kind of error you are facing? Please write it down here. Here you need to understand that this math.random means M you have to write the capital, right? So math is a class and random is a method of that class. Okay. So write whatever I've written in that way only because Java is case sensitive language. So you already know this. Yes, Anmol. Yes, Anmol. You're asking any question? You raised your hand. Anmol. Yes, Anmol, I'm asking to you. Any question? No. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. If you've done, then please write down your enrollment number and you may leave the meet. Thank you all. Please write down your enrollment number and you may leave the meet. Thank you.